Abyss, Runt, and Raven open the show by brawling out of the tunnel as the Pyro and Ballyhoo is going off. Runt gets crotched in a post. Abyss drops Raven with a Black Hole Slam. And then Jake Roberts emerges from the tunnel with his large sack.
And you're like, why?
Jake Roberts is here. Making his TNA debut. Jake the Snake Roberts.
It's so, like, abnormal.
He laughs and reveals his snake. Abyss takes a tremendous bump at the mere sight of the snake and like, cowers in terror.
I guess we have confirmed Abyss's second fear.
Yes, barbed wire, which he did get over, and now snakes.
They should wrap the ring in snakes. No rope snake match.
That would actually be sick. Snake massacre.
All of the snakes are tied together and make up the ropes.
Yeah, if you run the ropes, you're running against snakes. The snakes in the back match.
Peter will have a problem with this.
Listen, they can get over it. We're post-woke.
We are post-woke.
Runt wants him to put the snake back in the bag. Jake DDTs him instead as the snake slithers about. Jake then grabs a microphone. Jake announces that he was asked to be the referee for the Monsters Ball match, but he's worn those stripes before in prison. So he won't be the referee, but he will be the guide that takes them to the labyrinth of their minds.
Which by that he means he will be the referee.
Yes, he does end up just being the referee. Even Dave Penzer announces him as the special referee.
Yeah. It's more of a ceremonial position, you know? The guide that takes them to the labyrinth of their minds.
Yes, that is a famous position in wrestling. I don't want cinema, I want labyrinth of mind guides.
It's true. It's post-cinema.
So you might see this Jake Roberts promo and think it was edited like crazy.
I did think there was something off about it, but I thought that might have just been Jake Roberts.
A bit of both, because it turns out, according to Dave, he ended up talking for like 9 minutes.
Hell yeah.
It was only meant to be 2 minutes, and they cut it down to like 30 seconds.
And that's what they got it from it.
That's what they got. So yeah, Jake was apparently a little bit of a mess. The segment was a bit of a train wreck.
What?
His throat was so dry you could barely hear, so they had to like punch up the audio in post.
I don't believe any of this for a second.
He apparently thought he was doing a second angle of the tapings, and when the second hour taping was over and he didn't do it, he panicked thinking he missed a segment.
No, he cares.
But yeah, Jake Roberts, this is his TNA debut, and it's exactly what you would expect out of Jake Roberts' TNA debut in 2006.
You'd be kind of disappointed to have anything less than this, to be fair.
If he came out and was coherent and normal, you'd be like, oh, well, good for him, I guess.
You're like, what? You're like, why?
JB was outside Joe's locker room. Jake Roberts walks up.
And you go, oh no.
Jake starts talking about how sometimes you love your snake and then it grows. Because he's talking about his penis.
I get it. He does do that a lot.
Talk about his penis?
Yeah.
He talks about how he'll be the ringside enforcer for Monsters Ball.
Once again, he's not.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not a referee. I don't want to be a referee. I'll be like the enforcer, probably.
But he's the ref.
That does take us to Monsters Ball. Samoa Joe defeats Abyss, Brother Runt, and Raven in a Monsters Ball match with Jake Roberts as the special guide, is what he wants to call it.
To the labyrinth of their minds.
Even though Dave Penzer does announce him as the special referee.
Yeah, but who are you going to trust?
Raven's head is locked in a cage, like a Bloodborne character.
Despite all his rage, Raven's head is still in a cage.
Damn. You should work for the NWA.
No.
I've turned down jobs with the NWA like 3 times.
Brag. Maybe if Baron Corbin was champ.
Abyss hurls Brother Runt into the crowd as you can hear a woman scream. Fucking scream at the top of her lungs when he does this.
It definitely wasn't for like concern over Brother Runt, and I think more that like it was gonna hit her.
Because like I didn't hear this when we were doing the watch long, and I was just typing the notes, and I was looking away from the screen, and I heard that scream, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" They do toss Runt straight back out, and the dude that did it high fives all his bros as he had a really good memory.
So we were debating if this was a plant or if it was just like a dude that was like, I fucking hate Brother Runt for some reason, and like very quickly it became like a realization that it was just a guy who fucking hates Brother Runt because he was so excited. All his boys were gassing him up so hard that he just fucking shit canned him.
Joe wiped everybody out with a dive. Raven hits Joe with his head cage, and then Joe fell through a table off.
Despite all my rage, I'm hitting Joe with my head cage.
Abyss chokeslams Runt off the stage onto a platform below.
Despite all my rage, I am choke slamming Runt off the stage.
No! Abyss elbow drops Runt off the stage, but the camera misses it, focusing on a Jake Roberts reaction.
I could do it again, but I feel like I shouldn't.
You hit the rule of threes, you see.
Yeah.
Those were like cardboard boxes, and they actually had very little give.
Yeah, it didn't look like they had much fucking give.
Yeah, because Runt didn't break them, and an Abyss elbow drop didn't really break them, so they must have been very sturdy cardboard boxes. Raven throws Joe off the stage again to her second table. Jake is going to unleash his snake, but then Raven jumps him, a man of decency. Joe sentons Abyss face first onto thumbtacks.
Which is a fun bump.
Crazy for this dopey mid-card Monsters ball to take a face first.
That's bound for glory, baby.
Senton thumbtack bump. Wild man. I love you, Abyss.
It's bound for freaking glory.
Jake comes back, drops Raven with a DDT. Joe falls with the Muscle Buster for the win, and then Jake drops his snake on Raven after the match.
It's like a pretty good match. It's not like amazing.
It's silly, like hardcore spectacle. It's nowhere near as good as the Monsters Ball match on last year's Bound for Glory, but it's silly hardcore spectacle. I do feel like they tried an extra level because I think they probably felt they had to live up to that match last year, and they failed, but they did, I think, kind of try. And Jake Roberts there is funny.
Jake Roberts is funny. That is the best review possible. Jake Roberts talking about his cock and just being a weird freak.